Hello guys, welcome back, and in this lesson we are going to consider or to continue with styling for specific selectors. So far we have seen ID, classes, and some things like maybe styling specific tags and so on. So let us continue again with styling specific selector. So we'll start by considering how to style attributes. So what I'm going to use here, or the example that I'm going to give, let me actually just remove this for now. We don't need this. So let me just remove this and go inside here. So here I'm going to create two anchor tags here, and I'm going to say the first one will go to test.com, and maybe we can just say, let's say anchor tag 1, like this one. Then I'll do this. Then the second one will go to, let us say, google.com, and I'll call this anchor tag 2. So in our case here, for example, we want to style a specific anchor tag here with a specific link. In this case, maybe we want the one for Google. The way we can be able to do this, we can be able to say, I want to take anchor tag and I want the one with the href, all right, where the href is equals to maybe google.com. I hope I've gotten this okay. Then I can say now that the background color for this guy is maybe, let's say, green, and then I can say maybe the color is maybe red. So let us try and see if this will work. I hope I've gotten everything right here. Let me just do a refresh here, and sure, yeah, it works. So as you can see, the second anchor tag has a background of green and the color is red. So the next thing that I want us to see, so this is how you can be able to specify the attribute of a particular anchor tag and style that anchor tag. So the next thing that I want us to see, again pertaining to this anchor tag, is what we call pseudo classes. So pseudo classes, they are used to style a particular element depending on a particular state. So for example, when an anchor tag or a link has been visited, or a link has been hovered upon, or a link has not been visited, all those state, you can use what we call pseudo classes. So, and the way you use pseudo classes is, for example, you want, if if this link is not visited, you can just say like this, a link, and then you use this full colon here. I want the background, maybe, let's say the background color to be maybe black, and maybe the color, let's say maybe the color to be white. Don't know how this will look, but let us just try and see how it will look. All right. So if I go here, as you can see, now we have the background color as black and the text as white. So the next thing that I want is, when this thing has been visited, when this link has been visited, so I can go here, or let me say when it is hovered upon, when someone hovers or places the mouse over the link, I want the background color to be green, and I want the text, or let me say the background, to be white, just to do a reciprocation here, and the color to be black. So when someone places the mouse upon this, that is what I want it to happen. So I refresh here, I'll do a refresh. Okay, now if I hover, you can see the background becomes white and the text becomes black. And when I remove the hover, or when I remove the mouse, it goes back to the same thing. And now again, I can use a pseudo class and say, when this link has been visited, by saying a visited, that is when it has been clicked. I want now the background color to be maybe green, and the background color to be green, and maybe the color to be red. And remember, on our last lesson, we learned that whatever the styles that I apply afterwards will override this style that came before. And that is why you're seeing this style are the one being applied instead of this. But now I want, when someone clicks, I want the background to be green and the color to be red. So we'll go here, we'll refresh this guy, and then I'll go here, I'll click this guy. What I've done here is I'll need to remove, let me just remove the links because currently they are redirecting and I don't want them to go anywhere. So I'll just remove this and say don't go anywhere. So that hashtag will do that, and then let's go back now and do a refresh. All right, let's click here. And now you can see when I click one of them, the background turns to green and the color turns to red. Yeah, so the visited one is used to change the background or to format the style for that particular anchor tag once it is visited. Again, the pseudo classes, they can be used to let me say, to style a specific element, or if you have a number of elements inside another element, you can style a specific element, or you can choose a specific element which are inside other elements and style them. So let me give you an example here. So let us say we have a div here. We have a div here and we have a paragraph here. So let us say we have 4 paragraphs. I'll just be first here. I'll say first, second, I'll say third, and I'll say this is fourth. All right. So if I want, for example, to style the first paragraph inside this div, specifically what I can do, let me just remove these links. We don't need this for now. So let's remove this. So what I can do is that I can say I have a div here, but I want the first child, all right? And then for the first child, I want the background. Let us say background color to be green and our color to be yellow, all right? So like that, and maybe we can now play around. You have seen maybe some padding. For now, we can say maybe the padding 4px. Then I can say maybe the margin. The margin is the space between element. I can say 10px. It won't look good, but for now, let us go with margin. Why is that? All right, margin. Let me spell that one like that one. Let's go here and let us do a refresh. All right, I think here I did a mistake. So here we need to say the div, and then we need to say inside we have the paragraph, and we want to get the first paragraph, which will be defined by the first child like that. I think this should work now. Yeah, that is what I ought to have done. And then if you want to style the last child again, we can pass this here and say we want the last child, and we want maybe the margin to be 20, the padding to be maybe 14. Then we can flip this and say color should be green and the background should be yellow, like that one. Let's go back here and do a refresh, and now we see the last child has been styled. And again, if I go back here, if I want maybe to style a specific maybe paragraph which necessarily is not the first child or the last child, then I can also apply. Let me remember, I believe there is nth. child, and then we can apply maybe the third child. If I'm not wrong, I think we can do this. And you can say maybe the color is white, the background is black, the padding is maybe 5, and the margin is maybe 10 px. All right, I think like that one. I'll go here. Let us try this. All right, it works. So that is how you can be able also to use pseudo classes to change a specific child or a specific paragraph, a specific element or tag that you want to style.